You're listening to Up the Turnpike with hosts Mitch Anderson and Matt O'Leary.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to your post-game show here on Up the Turnpike. I am your host, Mitch Anderson. Matt is still away, but will be back this week. We're doing our regular podcast later this evening. So sign up to our patrons, patreon.com/uptheturnpike to get those podcasts and access to our Discord channel. But here we are for today's post-game show after the Islanders lose again. They lose again. Hooray. Let me refocus this camera here. It doesn't feel great to keep losing, even though you're outplaying the opposition. I know we've been in this discussion before, and we've said it multiple times. Like they're still relatively playing well. The score line doesn't look great, but like they are playing well. Like just look at these. Deserve to win meter again, heavily in the Islanders' favor. They're just not talented enough. They're playing a good brand of hockey. This is a good way to play the game. Look at the number of shots they're getting right here in the slot, like in those really good areas. Why was there? There you go. They're doing a good job. This is a good team in terms of on paper, the strategy they're utilizing. This is a good way to play the game. It's just not coming off because this team just isn't talented enough, which isn't something new to the New York Islanders. And I'm sure Mathieu Darche figured that was going to be the case when he took over, right? Like there was some work to be done to this roster. There was enough talent to ice a 500 team, but was it enough to ice an even better team? Clearly that's not the case, which is fine. That's totally fine. And I think we're all okay with that. Anyways, to get through our regular shenanigans with this game here, it starts off with a power play goal against, I forget who actually took it. Matthew Schaefer, 2 minutes for tripping Ryan Leonard, and Tom Wilson gets a power play goal here. The penalty kill has been relatively good. Not even relatively, has been good this year. So there's not a whole lot to complain. They're going to give up chances. It looked almost too easy here. Not on any of the penalty killers, just on Sorokin, who did not have a good game today. Sorokin was obviously not very good. This one here, I know he's going down to get in front of Tom Wilson here, but there's not a whole lot of trickiness involved in this goal. He just kind of deflects it and goes behind him, and you're going, yeah. At least someone who plays net, it didn't look great. So that was really kind of frustrating. Just looking at that, you're 7 minutes, 37 seconds into a game, and you're already down 1-0, which we've been in before. This is not new territory. It's just, again, frustrating. But throughout the first period, the Islanders really did well. You can see the shot differential 9-7 in favor of the Caps. I'll pull up Natural Stat Trick to look at like the expected goals, the underlying stuff, because it gives us a better sign in terms of just the straight up shot numbers here. But from what I saw, the Islanders played a good first period. Yeah, and the underlying numbers kind of support that. If I change it here, apparently I'm shopping for shoes here. The Islanders' high danger chances, 71%. This is all 5-on-5. Expected goals, 75%. Corsi for 51%. Like these are all the numbers you want to see. But we're just not able to find a way through Logan Thompson, who, fairly enough, is doing very well this year. So good goalie that we're going up against, but with the number of opportunities we're generating at 5-on-5, the numbers say we should have had 1.46 expected goal, or should have scored 1.46 goals. And of course, what they say here doesn't have to literally translate into fact, but like there was enough there to say like the Islanders probably should have left that period at the very least level on goals, level at the very least. And that's just assuming they're 5-on-5 play altogether. Sorry, that's every period. In the first period, yeah, still all of it 1.46. So like they should have had at least one goal in that first. They didn't, but you're playing the game the right way. You're playing how it should be played. Goals should come. Should. It wasn't in the first. Could it keep going in the second? Well, they kept it up in the second. They kept playing very well in that second period. Again, you can see shot totals almost doubled, 13-7 in favor of the New York Islanders. The underlying numbers, 63% Corsi. We got better in the Corsi. We got worse in the high danger chances department. Sorry, that's all situations. 5-on-5. Sorry, we got way worse in the high danger chances, but higher in the expected goals somehow. I don't really know how that's supposed to work, but either way, there's some decent underlying numbers there in favor of the New York Islanders in this second period, and they kept on pushing. But they're not the ones to score in the second period. It's the Washington Capitals here on a nothing play, on an absolutely nothing play. So here, I feel like maybe, I don't know if you hear the garage opening. So stupidly loud. Anyways, the puck is stopped here by Sorokin. You've got Schaefer coming in and Tom Wilson right on his heels. Now, you're not going to see it here because we don't have the visualizations because if they did, or we did, YouTube would demonetize us. So hopefully that gets fixed in the future where we can show like 10-second clips at least. But if you watch the clip, go back and watch it, you can see Matthew Schaefer kind of point to Sorokin saying, put it here, which Sorokin should not have done. You don't have to listen to a rookie. You really don't have to. Not in every situation, because Tom Wilson's right there, man. There isn't a clear lane out for Matthew Schaefer in this situation. And of course, Sorokin he abdicates to Schaefer, which I get it. Schaefer is a high prospect. He's a really good player, but you don't have to listen to him all the time. But he does. And like, look, like there's no way, like Schaefer thinks he's going to catch the inside lane going forward into the slot, and then he'll be let out. That is not the play to make. It really isn't. Bank it off the wall here. Schaefer has a 50-50 shot at the very least, but if Sorokin puts enough mustard on it, well, you're getting it all the way to the Hawaii. And if not, Matthew Barzal is right there. Like the Islanders are pretty well positioned for this breakout, but he sends it right on Tom Wilson's stick. Just an absolute brain fart that didn't need to happen. Send it along the wall. Send it to Drouin, man, and he'll chip it out of the zone. Lee can get it, and you're out. I don't understand what we're doing here. It's just a really stupid thing to do when you're only down 1-0. Like, you had a chance to get back in this game, and you're doing this at 14 minutes into the second period, man, and you're more than half the game's done, and you're making a really dumb mistake like that. It's just not great. It's really not. And you can tell that the Islanders kind of lost a little bit of steam after that. They kept trying to do stuff, and it just wasn't working. Like, they were forcing a lot of plays throughout this game that didn't need to be done. A lot of behind the back passes, like Jason Spezza back in the early 2000s. No look passes, just really forcing stuff that didn't need to be forced. If they had simplified their game, I think they would have been even better. Not to say that they were bad. They did well on the day, but they kind of lost a little bit of steam in that second period after that second Tom Wilson goal goes in, which I felt deflated. I'm sure you felt deflated at home too. Not just in the way it's scored, but who's scoring it as well. And just like, God damn it, man. Plus on top of the context of like not playing well at home after playing well on the road, just not great. Not great at all. Before we get to the third period, let's get to some comments here. Gary's like, well, that wasn't fun. Yep, it wasn't a whole lot of fun. They played well, and I hate to keep preaching that, going like they're playing a good game of hockey, and if they keep pushing and keep playing like this, they will win games, and they will. It's hard to preach patience when you're losing. I personally get it. If you're going to push back on me, like I'm tired of hearing keep playing this way, that's fair. I get it. But it is true. If they keep playing this way, they're going to win games eventually. Maybe once they get more talented, whenever that is. Still, Gary says Thompson sold that game. He made some really great saves. The Islanders actually looked good, but met with a hot goalie. There is something to be said there. Sure, Logan Thompson was stopping goals or shots that he had no business stopping, like deflected attempts and still getting a pat on it. Like, what are we talking about here? This is just stupid. For some reason, I don't think the Islanders recognize that Logan Thompson doesn't catch with the left hand. He catches with the right. And so they don't adjust their shots accordingly. Like they're going on him and they're shooting on him on the high, looking for high blocker, which is a soft area for most goalies. But he's not. He doesn't have to worry about that. He's got the glove there. And so they really have to adjust and contextualize based off who they're facing. And I don't think they did a good enough job of that today against Logan Thompson, making his job just a little bit easier. And then Guitarsmo, belated congratulations to Matt on his wedding. Absolutely. congrats to Matt on his wedding. It was a dope celebration. Great time was had by all, including yours truly. Okay, to the third period. The Islanders, I felt when they came back out, there's a bit more life in them. They're a little bit more jump in that third period after losing a little bit of steam in that second. They kept pushing. They kept pushing. They weren't generating enough. Again, kind of like what I said in the second, the puck management wasn't there, just trying to be way too cute when they didn't need to be. There's a couple of passes by Matthew Schaefer that were fantastic, but then someone's looking for that extra pass instead of just getting it on net. Ridiculous. Adam Pelech. Oh my God, I forgot to mention Adam Pelech. By the second period, he had 2 attempts wide, way wide. I understand he's not a 30-goal scorer, but can we just please get it on net, Pelech? I know he's going to be saying the same thing to himself. So like, it's not to him. This is just preaching to everyone here going like, we need Adam Pelech to hit the net, please. Please, buddy. I know you want to. I know you're going to eventually. I'm just venting the frustrations along with you, dude. Like, it's just golden opportunity in the slot to at least get it on net and doesn't, making Washington's life a little bit easier. Anyways, as we push, we finally get on the power play again, and we create. They put two defensemen on this power play. So they have Matthew Schaefer out there and Ryan Pulock out there. They work it to Pulock, who cranks it on net, Leaf spots it, bounces it to Horvat, who doesn't make a mistake, into the top of the corner, top of the net. You're seeing here as they're working it, they're trying to get it a one-timer here to Ryan Pulock, and here it is, just cranks it. He gets a bit off at number 24, but that does us a world of good. And then we're able to bank it in for a power play goal, which we desperately need. That's 2 in our last 3 opportunities, maybe 4 opportunities, which is good percentage-wise in a very small sample, but got to start somewhere, right? And so we're kind of back in the game, right? It's 2-1 at this point. Keep on pushing. Keep on pushing. We pull the goalie with 3 minutes left. It's 2-something, I think. And we make a good decision here of pulling the goalie while we have the puck in, or a face-off in Washington's end. Great decision to make. We're shit in breakouts in an extra man situation, as evidenced by our really bad power play percentage. We can't break into the zone when they have a numerical disadvantage. It's just a fact of how the Islanders are. And then they end up having a icing called against, or for, anyways, a called back type of thing, but they'd already blown for icing. So they call it, they take the face off in the neutral zone, right? And Sorokin's in the net. And the second they get possession in their own zone, Sorokin goes to the net. And I'm saying this is a bad idea. I get it. Let's get that skater out as soon as possible. But again, the Islanders have such a goddamn hard time breaking into the zone when they have a numerical advantage that, again, they sent it in. I knew they would send it in, and it would be won back by Washington, and Protas eventually gets a goal here out of it, because we just can't get a job of battling down below the boards or along the boards. We just fail miserably in that department when we have the numerical advantage. For some reason, I don't understand how, but we do. And exactly what happened. Protas eventually gets a breakaway pass. He beats Schaefer to it, and it's in the net, empty net. And it's just like, God damn it, man. What are we doing here? Right? Like, you watch it here. We're in the zone already at this point. We have possession, but we just lose a board battle, and they send it down, and Schaefer just can't catch up to him. That's it. It's just really, really dumb stuff that we just could avoid it. But here we are. It's 3-1. Patty's going like, we got to throw caution in the wind, not cautions in the wind. We got to do whatever to get another goal, to see if we can do something. And of course they don't. Tony DeAngelo, another awful giveaway right here. Boom. What are we doing, Tony? Unreal. Like, Pelech is trying whatever he can to get in the way there, and it just doesn't work. It's just another awful giveaway by Tony DeAngelo. Not that it ultimately matters. We're already losing anyway, so he tried something, it didn't work. It's not the end of the world. It's just kind of like, come on, another one. And the Islanders lose 4-1 in a game where they, again, heavily outshot their opponents. Sucks. It really sucks, man. We look at the game stats here. They outshot them 31-18. Faceoffs 58-47 to 41. Power play 33%. Penalty kill 50%. Not great. Penalties 64. Hits 23-21. That's kind of interesting considering we outshot them so heavily and we outhit them. Block shots, even giveaways. Oh, that is horrendous. It was like almost 3 times more giveaways than the opposition. That's where we lost the game. That's where we lost the game. Well, clearly, it's Sorokin's giveaways right there. And then takeaways 6-3 in our favor. Like puck management was not on point, and we lost the game because of it. We did everything else right except for manage the puck when we didn't have it on our sticks. Not even when we did have it on our sticks. Clearly, it's a giveaway. What am I talking about here? Just stupid stuff. 2 more comments here from Richard saying the Islanders have no chance of winning with their horrible power play. They have no pure goal scorers. I will say, like, yeah, the power play isn't really giving them a chance to win, although it kind of did today. It put them in a position, like they put themselves in a losing position on their own, but it brought them back to life, did the power play, and they have no pure goal scorers. I will say that Bo Horvat is one, but I think to your point is maybe the ultimate point you're making here. They don't have enough, right? Like you have Bo Horvat who can score. Clearly, he's going to score 30 this year. He's already at 15. But it's just not enough when you have one guy. They don't have enough. They don't have enough players that are really of that caliber. You don't need too many. You don't need like 5 or 6, although that would be great. At least one more. They don't have another guaranteed 30 goal scorer. You could have argued maybe Palms, but now that he's gone for who knows how long, 4 to 6 months, I think, they don't have another one. They just don't. And so things are going to go poor or sour pretty quickly, I believe. And I'm sure you do too. Bingman Finley says tank job back on, and I'm not mad about it. Didn't expect much from this team anyways. Like, that's fair. As much as I don't want to tank because I don't want to see losing, I'll sign up for a tank. Like, you lose Jean-Gabriel Pajot for weeks now. I mean, who knows when he's back exactly, although that's going to suck if he's not back anytime soon, just for trade values. You lose Romanov. Not that he was playing super well, but like you don't really have cover to bring him in to cover for him. So that kind of sucks. And now you lose Kyle Palmieri, who again wasn't running the team in terms of offense, but he's one of your guys that you should be able to count on for 25 goals, and he's gone for 4 to 6 months. And they're losing games when they're dominating play. Like tank job might be back on. I stated survival here, saying Operation McKenna is back on again, just like Bigman Finley here. Might be. It might be. And that's okay. I think we're all okay with that in the end. If they happen to play out to less than 500 and they get a top 5 draft pick, so be it. That's great. Cool. Well, we're okay with that because we know where there's potential with this squad. We're seeing it by the way they're playing. They are outplaying teams. They just don't have the quality to close it out yet. But as we bring in prospects like or quality, like maybe a McKenna, or maybe we trade for someone else, we're going to start bridging that talent gap. Whereas now we're dominating players because of our strategy on the ice, but we're able to turn that into winning positions because we have the quality to back that up eventually. Max TGG, and reality comes crashing back down on the island. That's fair. Like we were running high and sitting high after that road trip, and rightfully so. Like we didn't expect, any of us expect them to do well. They did very well. God damn, that garage is loud. I don't know if you guys can hear that on the stream, but it just feels like the whole room shakes. Oh my God. After the road trip, we were riding high because we weren't expecting to win anything. We thought Matt and I were going to go 2-5 on that road trip. We do much better than that. Now we come crashing down at home. When you think that, advantageous position for the Islanders, you think they'd be able to do better, but obviously not. Guitar says, frustrating game, like the last couple, so different that we were out shooting teams this year. Yeah, like this is what you want to do. You want to be out shooting teams because when you have the quality on your team, usually you're winning games because quality shines when you're giving them the opportunity. We just don't have that quality just yet. We have quality players, some, just not enough is really the case here. Anti-censorship says, come on. We make these goalies look like world-class goalies and refuse to believe these guys just have their best games against the Isles. Ever since the homestand began, we've been goalied. And there's a fair point to be made there, but I'm not going to say that's the case when it comes to Logan Thompson. I know his numbers are a little bit lower in the last little bit, but he is he's the Vezina favorite right now. So it's not out of the ordinary to be goalied by Thompson. By no means am I justifying like, oh, well, we got goalied by Thompson. So, well, no, like we should have made his life harder with the number of shots that we were getting, but we didn't. And that's a problem that we need to fix. with talent, I think, at some point. Jeff says, got to start putting pucks in the net, but not getting at least a point is on Sorokin for the second goal. Held Caps to 18 shots with 2 empty net goals. Yeah, man. They scored one legitimate goal. One. And obviously, maybe the second one is still legitimate because they still put it in the net, and so did the other ones. But we helped them put that puck in the net in the last 3. They scored one actual goal, really. The other ones are asterisks, which is fine. They don't ask you how, they ask you how many. So it's all fair in love and hockey type of thing. But we can't, as Jeff is pointing out to, help them put pucks in our own stupid net. Can't do that. While simultaneously not putting pucks in their own net. That's how you lose games. That's how you lose games, quite literally, in the game of hockey. We're just not helping ourselves here. And absolutely, Sorokin is on point for that. Like should be on blast for that. Anti-censorship every game, we give up less than 30 shots, shoot over 40, and lose by game. Yeah. Goal or 3. What the hell is going on? I get the injury situation, but they're outplaying some of these teams. They absolutely are. It makes no sense. They don't outplay teams in terms of the shot counts and what we classically or traditionally, or maybe not traditionally, what we believe in the modern era of the NHL to be the way you're supposed to play the game. And we lose. You flip it and we win. But like, you can't justifiably go in a game and have that on paper saying, like, let's let them outshoot us. We can't do that on paper. But you would think that we should, because that's how we win games right now, which is stupid, really stupid. PS saying, as usual, outshoot opponents and don't score. Yep. How many goalies are hot against us? Every team we lose to. If you want to heat up a goalie, play the Islanders, apparently is what needs to happen to any other team. We get a hot goalie every game. Yeah. Perhaps the Isles not finishing. I know that PS is going to say the same thing. Yes, absolutely. It is. Their goalies are playing well, but it has to do with us just hitting them right in the chest every time. Barzal, Horvat, Holmstrom, Shabanov, Richie, Sorokin, Romanov, and Schaefer are the core. All others are placeholders. Let me read that list again. Yeah, okay. Maybe you're not going to... I feel like you're putting Romanov there because of the contract, and that you're right for doing so. I would put him there too, because clearly Mathieu Darche has identified Alex Romanov as part of the core. I don't think if we took a step back from the contract, we would consider him core, but you're right for including him. I just wanted to make that clear. Gary says, this is who I thought the Islanders were at the start of the season. I think this is what we should expect going forward. I'm resigned to the fact they were not a playoff team. Same. And I think that's okay with most fans. If we're seeing them outplay teams, it's going to suck to lose while they're outplaying teams. But I think we can take that and put that in our heads and go like, okay, well, they're still outplaying teams. On the game plan is sound. The game plan is right. We just need better talent to support that game plan. And we can't get that talent like that lickety split tomorrow. But once we get that talent, whether it be next year or within the next 2 years, even hopefully next year, we can start turning a few more losses into wins. The more games we lose like this, the better chance we have at a good top end prospect. Yep. And the way that McKenna is sinking in the draft, like, let's go. I'll take McKenna. Absolutely. That'd be amazing. Anti-censorship to Tampa and the Avs are coming up. Yep. They're going to score. They're really going to go 1-5-1 on this homestand. I thought no way they'd come home and pull an Isles and go 1-6. They might, but then again, maybe those two teams come into our barn and we don't outplay them. They outplay us, but we still win because it's bizarro land where when we outplay teams, we lose, but when they outplay us, we win. Apparently that's how things are going to go this year. So who knows? Luckily, Daphne is 83 years old and will stick to the plan. Trade the assets for the future when the other kids are ready to make a real run. Yes, exactly. So when Jean-Gabriel Pajot comes back, we trade him. We get whatever we can for him, as much as we possibly can, and whatever other assets we can maximize. And we keep adding to this. We keep improving this roster going forward. It should be the plan, and I think that's what he's going to try to do. Okay, let's keep going here. We're only 24 minutes in. We're probably going to get to everyone's comments. Look, doing what they did on the road trip and just laying eggs against lesser teams. Look, doing what they did on the road trip and just laying eggs against. I'm so pissed off. Okay, fair. Why can't keep this team motivated and get D'Angelo off the team already? Yeah, like the last part, like D'Angelo's got to got to move. But as we said in the last one, he's better than some other players that we have coming up. Like, with all due respect to Adam Boquist and Travis Mitchell, Tony DeAngelo better than both of those guys. So he's made a couple of mistakes over the last couple of games, and I'm sure he'd shoot himself in the foot for it. Like, God damn, not he'd shoot himself in the foot for it. He'd kick himself in the ass for it. That's the thing I wanted to use. But we got to keep rolling with it for now. And hopefully he fixes some of those mistakes and he ups his trade value going forward. And we get something for him, whatever that happens to be. Because I think the Tony DeAngelo experiment, as you're saying, anti-censorship here is done. On Anthony, this team is embarrassing joke. And to think we all clown the Rangers for not winning at home. Now look at us. I mean, I'll take a 5-0 win against the Rangers all day. All day. That's my Stanley Cup. I'll take it. That road trip is now seeming like 10 years ago. It really does. Time to trade Sorokin. When are we going to realize that he is not a franchise goalie? I don't know, man. He plays like one. And obviously not today, you'll say, and you're absolutely right. And obviously not this year. There's something there. Clearly, he's a really good goalie. But today was not a good day, man. Like, he was off. Really, I did not think that Sorokin was making the best decisions. Clearly, with the one play that led up directly to a goal. Would I trade him? No, because I don't think we're going to find anyone better than him. So I'll ride with him for now. I'm fine with that. I was thinking the same, how they mirror the Rangers home and road splits, right down to the not scoring at home thing. Eerily similar. Must be a New York thing. Maybe something's in the water in New York. Another Sorokin masterclass, giving up 4 goals in less than 20 shots. I mean, he didn't give up 4 goals. He wasn't on the ice for the last 2. So I would trade Barzal before Sorokin. Oh, I wouldn't trade either of those 2 guys. I would not, unless it's a blow my socks out. Like, we're punking them in terms of trade value. But I don't think that's going to be the case for either of those 2 guys. I like them, and I don't think we'd get fair value back anyways. When you score 1 goal, most goalies will lose. Yeah, that's fair. Like, we're not getting any run support, not any run support at all. Sorokin has some awful defense in front of him, but he has to do better with under 20 shots. These games aren't even making sense. Should have beaten Thrillers. Oh, yeah, the Flyers. Terrible against the Metro so far. Yeah, man, it's a Metro thing. Like, these are big 4-point games that we're losing. We should have beat the Flyers in regulation. We should have beat Washington here, and we didn't. Like, that's leaving points on the board, in interdivisional points on the board, that don't need to be done. And just because we're not making good decisions with pucks. I like this here from Big Time. Stay the course. Absolutely. In terms of strategy, like, what they're doing on the ice is to a certain degree working. They are outplaying teams. It's just the shooting's in there. And we kind of said that earlier in the year with Bo Horvat specifically. Like, if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to turn shots into goals. And he did. He's up to 15 now. Can we get to the rest of the team to do that? I don't think so. We're not talking about the same caliber of player. But the strategy needs to stay the same. What they're doing in terms of game plan is solid and works. They just need to supplant that with more talent, which I think is what Big Time is getting at here. P.S. If these Isles somehow got McKenna, the other team would revolt after the Schaefer miracle. Whatever. They could stuff it. They got 2 top. They got a number 2 overall and a number 1 overall. It's not our fault they did nothing with it. I'm talking about this year. Sure, the future looks good, but if they tank. Don't pull us in with a road trip like that and then crap themselves in front of fans desperate to cheer. All right, that's fair. Like, don't play us around, please. If you're gonna beat the team that won all those games on the road, please do that at home when you have an advantage, please. Okay, it's not too much to ask, I don't think. I agree with you there. Gonna go jump here to Gary saying, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're up to 38 followers, our viewers, which isn't a ton, but it's a Thanksgiving weekend. People probably getting back home, and it wasn't really a barn burner for the Isles, so probably not a lot of people sticking around. That's totally fair. But do like and subscribe if you have not done that yet. When do we score a soft goal? That would be great. Can we please score soft goals, please? Can we let other teams help us score goals? That'd be great. 2 breakaways and 3 2-on-1s in the first and no goals. They can't shoot. We need snipers. Yeah, man. Like that is something. You're absolutely right. I didn't mention that in the breakdown of the first period there, but a ton of really good scoring opportunities that they let they let go by. I understand Thompson's a good goalie and such, but that's too many for just one goalie to be like, oh, we got goalied on that. Like, that's just too much. Any concern with Holmstrom? Is he on potential fraud alert? I don't think fraud alert, but I think maybe top 6 is too much for him. I don't know why, but that happens sometimes. When the caliber is higher, some players just can't hold it. Maybe he's just going to be a 20% third liner, a 20% conversion third liner, like a guy who can really score when he needs to in really good opportunities, and by good opportunities, in favorable opportunities. But when you ask him to do more, it's just not clicking. Maybe it will eventually, because there is that career arc with Holmstrom, which it just takes a little bit more time for him to get to a higher degree. Right, we drafted him in the first round, and it took a while for him to get to the NHL. And even when he got there, we're like, oh, I don't know. But year over year, he got better. So maybe with a little bit more time, he'll get there. But we're looking at a 25-year-old now, and like, I don't know if it's going to get any better than this, which is fine. Third liner would be great, but we would like a little bit more. I don't know if it's fraud alert, but it's certainly it's never going to be fraud alert. He's a good player. It's just I don't think there's a top 6 guy there. Kieran, so many guys need to step up. Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. They desperately do. Holmstrom being one of those guys needs to step up right now. I know Lee's got an assist. He was rather anonymous for most of the game. Barzy's got to do a little bit better. Not more, better. With what he's doing, he needs to do better with what he's doing, because he does a lot, and he does a lot of really good stuff. It's just not clicking. And I think if we ask him to do more, it's going to be like, well, there's only so much more I could do. And it's diminishing returns at that point, like with any player. Anti-censorship, they do play the level of competition, so perhaps they salvage. Who knows? Just depressing. Peace, my fellow. Peace out. Peace out, my dude. He's gone. Got his 2 cents in, and that's totally fair. That's what we're here for. I think that the who knows is really kind of sums up most of us. Like, who knows what they're going to do, but I'm here for the ride. Anthony, I love this team so much, but they make it so goddamn hard. Yeah, Anthony, that is totally fair. Cold blood. I'd rather have Warren, George, or Mitchell over Tony. Get these kids some experience and let them grow. George would be great. I think he's still injured. I didn't look at the last Bridgeport game if he was playing there, but Warren, I think whatever. Maybe it'd be great to have, but I think George is the one for me out of those 3. P.S. This team is so streaky. Look how many times they've won 4 and then lost 3 in a row. Yeah, and I think that's what's going to happen with this team. I really do. Gary, Holmstrom has had way too many different line mates this year. He has no consistent lines, and that's tough. It is tough, specifically with a player like Holmstrom, who's a dependent level player. We're not talking about a player who is an independent talent, who can run a line on his own. That's not the level of talent that Simon Holmstrom is. Still talented. Still a good player, but just more dependent on the guys around him to open up ice. Jeremy, perhaps the injuries are a blessing in disguise. It's nice to see them win, but I'd love one more strong draft moving forward. There you go. Like, this is just kind of like, oh, what? We're making lemonade out of lemons here. Like, it's not we've got a bunch of injuries, but can we get something positive out of it in the end? Perhaps. Bryson says trade Duclair, Tony, and Cizikas frees up $8 million. Easier said than done, at least on 2 of those guys. I think trading Tony is going to be relatively easy. Well, assuming teams want him anyways. Duke and Cizikas, I don't know about Zeker. It's not going off well for him. Maybe a team in a playoff position is looking for a depth center. Maybe they want him. But either way, isn't his contract done at the end of the year, or does he have one more left after this? Am I forgetting something in terms of length? Cizikas still has 1 more year. Oh, gosh, darn. So yeah, that'd be great if we can trade him, but I don't think that's going to happen. Duke, I would agree. If someone is willing to take Duke, that'd be great, but I think there's 2 more years him as well. Yeah, there's 2 more years left on Duke's contract. I don't know if we're going to find someone to chew up $3.5 million. We got Anthony, where's Aitchison at? And like Jeremy is saying here, Aitchison is in Barrie and should stay there for the year. Will stay there, but they won't call him up. Along with a World Junior Championship appearance. Yeah, I assume he's playing for Team Canada and have a big role for them. He's killing it down in Barrie. And I'm sure Anthony's saying this kind of tongue-in-cheek as well, because I'm pretty sure he knows exactly where where Aitchison's at, which is why he's asking, because he's putting up points and goals, which we could use. Big time. JGP has to be traded at deadline. Yes. Can Isles get a first? Remember, Isles don't have a second rounder with Bailey and Lowe. True, but we have 2 firsts already. Can we get a first? I would have thought so before the injury because he was playing well, but post injury, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he can get a first, but either way, it's fine. Will Maggio be brought up? Any chances he sticks? He's playing well, man. I think they need to see a little bit more consistency out of that. Like, it's playing well, or he's playing well right now. It's, can we sustain that over a couple more weeks? And then I think they will. But maybe with injuries and a big performance, they call him up sooner rather than later, because he has been playing well. But it's just did not play well last year. Maybe a new coach. Maybe it works for him. So we'll see. Cats and Rats saying Duke on the move again. Wow. Who knows? We're saying maybe it's time, but I don't know. Another team is going to want to buy in on that with 2 more years left at $3.5 million per year, plus this year, right? So we'll see, but not really, certainly not playing himself a permanent spot here on the team right now, unfortunately for Duke. Hopefully that turns around. So that's it. Thank you guys for following along. Thank you for sticking around and listening to me babble along this game, and another loss for the New York Islanders, who are picking up losses as fast as they were picking up wins a couple weeks ago. But stay tuned for more post-game coverage. Stay tuned to our Patreon. We're going to have a podcast later tonight where we're going to record a full hour-long show with all the questions, basically the same type of format we're doing here. You ask us whatever you want to ask us, and we answer you with whatever we want to answer you about on the show. So it's really an open forum show. So sign up today, patreon.com/uptheturnpike. And until then, we will catch you later. Matt should be back soon. See you guys next time.